Hi muckers and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today, and I'm very excited for the new segment that I am going to be doing. I have been wanting to do this for quite some time, and this is a complete rip-off of Ask Wendy, which if you're aware and you've been, a viewer for some time now, that was actually my first time being on TV was like going on Ask Wendy. It's the Wendy Williams show, and there's a segment called Ask Wendy where the audience members ask Wendy Williams their questions, but it's not a Q&A. It's like not a Q&A, it's more so like something's going on in my life, how would you go about this? Because sometimes we just want to hear like an outside point of view. Now, I always hear create content that you enjoy watching, and for me right now, I have non-stop been watching these compilation videos of Ask Wendy. It's my favorite content to consume right now because I don't know, I'm a nosy person and I like hearing what other people are going through and then hearing someone's advice on it. So I thought that it would be really fun to do like an Ask Adam section, which would be that the muckers would send in things that are going on with them, and I would kind of say how I would deal with it if I was in their position. This is in no way saying that I know what I'm talking about, but it's just kind of like, if I was presented with this, how would I handle it? Now, I have so many to get to in this video, and I'm very, very, very excited. But I have created an email, so if you would want to be included in this, please don't comment it below. Please email askadammcintyre@gmail.com. So that's askadammcintyre@gmail.com with your one. Basically, I can keep control of them over there instead of the comments. So let's keep the comments like your opinions on what people are saying, what you would do, and then keep the email, the askadammcintyre@gmail.com for all of your things you need advice on. So we're just going to get started and go through this. So I have them all on my phone here. These are in no particular order. I put on my Twitter asking for one, so this was before I obviously have this email. I was just trying to, do a test run. So the first one is from E. It says, I want to do solo traveling. I'm just a very anxious person about safety. How did you manage your first time to Paris or anywhere alone? It is important when you travel anywhere that you have people that you can contact. I'm not saying in that specific city, I'm talking about back home, whether this is friends, whether this is a roommate, whether this is family, whether this is someone from school. It is very important to have a contact back home that if anything was to happen, you could rely on telling them the info. I think it's also very important whenever you solo travel to tell a specific person your flight information, your boat information, your train information, the hotel you're staying at, what area you're staying at, things you're going to be doing. I'm not saying that you need to go above and beyond being like, at this time I'm doing this, at this time like an itinerary. No, but I think it's quite important to let people know back home, or even if you're just going away for the weekend, to let anyone know where you're going to be, because I think it is very, very, very important. I think it's also important, depending on the phone you have, to have your tracking services on. I know we hear like, oh, against tracking and stuff, but I think it's very important. I would love to tell you a story one day of whenever I was in LA and my phone was stolen, and I found it through Find My iPhone on my MacBook. So it's really, 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 or my iPad, sorry, it's really, really, really important to have tracking services on. I know we're told so against it. That will be my thing. It's also important to research areas. If you want to go into hostels, it's important to note the kinds of people that are in there. If you're going into an all-female one, an all-male one, it's very, very, very important to do your research. So that's exactly what I would say. And good luck. Solo traveling is amazing. Sarah Simon said, Hey Adam. Hey Sarah. Recently, I have moved out of my parents' house. Exciting. However, I'm finding I run into a lot of roadblocks with living alone. Been there. Like making sure I'm staying clean. Been there. And taking care of myself. Been there too. I am wondering if you've had any tips on creating a way of living alone that works for you. I have just reached 7 months sober, congratulations, and I'm really beginning to find myself, but I've lost so much time in addiction that I honestly don't know where to start. I know you've been living alone for a while, and I was wondering what you've learned. Well, congratulations on your sobriety, and you're saying that, you've had a lot of time kind of taken away from you, and I would kind of change the thinking of look how much time you have in front of you right now. And in terms of living alone, it is hard. Living alone is hard because if the dishes don't get done, who's going to do them? It's on you. If you don't clean your bathroom, it's going to stay that way. If you have animals, if you don't clean up after them, they're not going to do it. There's so many things that come with living alone that is a responsibility, and I think there's kind of a novelty when you first move out that you're on top of your cleaning, you're on top of yourself, like you're very much so on your A game. That very much so disintegrates, as time goes on. I think the important thing is to have a routine. Now, I am not someone who does well on a routine, and I'm speaking to you, Sarah, and anyone who lives alone, and if you have any advice as well, muckers, on any of these, please let us know. I think it's important to set a routine. I don't like routines. I don't like it. Every day I'm going to wake up and do this. Every day I'm going to wait. I do not like that whatsoever. What I do like is knowing that whenever I wake up in the morning, there's going to be, within the first couple hours of me waking up, I'm going to go get coffee. And then, after that, I'm going to do my skincare. And then after that, I'm going to take the dogs on a walk. I think it's important to have a routine, but not be so, anal about the routine. And also, I think it's important as well to have certain days for certain things whenever it comes to household chores. Like, if you're going to do, a couple days a week, these specific days, these are your dishes days. A couple days a week, this day a week, that's the bathroom day. Sundays when I clean the bathroom. Or, what I do, and this has been, 2 years of living alone now, Sunday is my clean day. And that's not saying that I'm not cleaning up throughout the week, but Sunday I do a deep clean every single week, and that's kind of how I deal with it. Sarah, congratulations on your sobriety. I'm very excited for the next amount of time that you have, and congrats on your place. Hey Reader said, hey Adam. Hey Reader. I love your videos, but my question is, how do you come up with topics to talk about with new people? When it comes to my friends, I can speak to them for hours, but when it's random people, I find it really hard. Oh my god, I feel you on this, and I get super uncomfortable around new people because I hate silence when I'm around new people, and you know that you're really comfortable with someone whenever you feel comfortable in silence with them. There's only a few people in my life that I feel I could be comfortable with if they were sitting here and we were just doing our own thing in silence. It's very hard to find that. Now, in terms of new topics, best case scenario is you know where you're going. You're going to an event, you know the kind of people that are going to be there. You can do a little research beforehand on what they talk about or things that they've done. A little search on Instagram, never hurt anybody. That's best case scenario if you know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going and someone just introduces you to someone, or you meet someone on the street, or you want to make new friends, I think that the standard protocol that we're always told is to talk about weather. Or talk about, just things that are going on day to day, right? I disagree with that. I completely disagree with that. I think pick a niche and talk about it. Or I think literally pick up on social cues. If someone is walking a dog, pet the dog and then ask them about the dog. And then if you have a dog, talk about the dog. Or if you want a dog, you can talk about the dog. That is way more exciting than being like, oh, the weather's great today. That's like an Uber conversation, you know what I mean? I think pick up on, or if they have an outfit that you like, I love your outfit, where'd you get these? And then you'll be, oh, see, what shop was that? I've gone to that shop before. You need to work off of what they're giving you. Whenever I'm traveling and I want to meet people, that's exactly what I do. So if I'm at a bar and people are drinking a beer, I hate beer. I pretend I'm interested in beer. I go over, I go, what kind of beer is that? It looks delicious. And then you follow on from that, and then you'll find that if they get your vibe, they'll also match your energy because they're making an effort. And if they don't, then it's also okay to just walk away from people. So that would be what I would honestly advise. Missy Scribbles said, so recently, as in today, a friend of mine decided to not be friends with me any longer. They crossed a boundary of mine, and when I told them this, they played a victim. Then said I was blowing it out of proportion, so gaslighting you, and thought it would be better for both of us to not be friends. I get the idea that they didn't want to be, putting in the work for change. It just hurts me that they didn't want to do this that they were doing this and then were claiming to be my friend as well. I want to unblock them and get closure. What should I do? You have came to the king of not getting closure. I have had so many lifetime friendships end without closure. I've had so many, I don't want to say relationships, but situationships, if you know what I mean, like dating, end without closure. Unfortunately, the closure's not going to do anything for you. You need to take their silence, their leaving you, as the closure. They've said all they needed to say, and them doing that is the loudest form of closure that you should take. But I'm going to play devil's advocate here because I always am like, oh, but maybe, things will be different. So say you do unblock them and you message them this heartfelt thing. Who's to say they'll read it? Who's to say they'll read it and ignore you? Who's to say they will just block you after it? I think we're so caught up in good memories and we always think back on like, this person really did me shitty, but there was like a lot of good times. And I just think it's not worth it. At a certain stage, it sounds awful to say, but I kind of expect closure to be nothing for a lot of situations in my life. And I feel that once we acknowledge that someone leaving can be the biggest form of closure that you ever need and it says everything, I think that's when we start changing our thinking about things. So that's what I would say to you, Missy Scribbles, if I'm being honest. And trust me, I've been there and it is fucking awful. Okay, so we have the next one from Eliza. I love that name, by the way. I broke up with my ex 2 years ago, so we could try being with other people, but we're still really close friends. Okay. I'm already going to interrupt you. I do not believe that exes can be friends. Now, this is me going off of my own situations, but I think at a certain stage, there's too many memories there, and someone is going to catch feelings again. Or even not just catch feelings, someone's going to get hurt. So I don't know what you're asking right now, but all I'm saying is be careful or leave it. Be careful or leave it. Okay. Neither of us started dating anyone else, but we still act like a couple. Here's what we're dealing with. I feel like logically we should be together. He already pretty much lives with me, but I don't think I'm ready for a commitment. We tried being in an open relationship before, but it didn't work for us. I feel like I'm in a gray area. What would you do? Okay, Eliza, I'm going to be honest. It seems like your ex-boyfriend wants to be with you, but you don't want to be with him in a committed relationship. So all I'm going to say is you're just going to hurt him. I think have that conversation. Be adults about it. You can sit him down and say, hey, we're pretty much dating right now. Like, we are basically living together. We are doing all of this together, but I'm not ready for that. Or I don't feel that I'm there with you particularly yet. And honestly, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but in this situation, I wouldn't be friends with him again. I think he's making it pretty clear to you that he wants to be with you, and just don't hurt him. And also, in the end, don't hurt yourself. So that would be my advice. I'd be like, get out of it. Because you would have said that you wanted to be in the relationship to me if, you had different opinions. Morgan said, hey Adam, hey Morgan, I just started my own business for dog training called ARF, so ARF Limits Training. We're slowly growing, but I'm still working part-time with another company. At what point should I just take the leap and go full-time into my business? We just advertise on Instagram and Facebook, but how can I reach more people? Any advice on running a business is greatly appreciated. My advice is have your backup plan. Okay? It's important everyone has a backup plan. And I would say take 3 months, 6 months, if possible. Some workplaces allow, 3-6 month breaks or whatever, unpaid, and then you come back after that. If that is allowed, leave for the 3 or 6 months, devote all of your time, as if that's your 9-to-5 job, devote all of your time into that business, and then at the end of that, it's not to say that in 6 months someone's business is able to go from 0 to 100. It's a progress. But if you're putting all of your effort into that for that amount of time, as you would a 9-to-5, you will think about it different. You will have different, ways of going about things. I think social media is your best case. I think TikTok is great for companies. I don't think YouTube is great for companies because YouTube do not really care about that kind of stuff. TikTok, love it. The TikTok audience love it. I really would recommend you just continuing to use social media. I also would start going to dog parks and talking with dog owners. I also would go to dog conventions and talk with the people there. This is not about spending a lot of money. This is being smart and talking with people who are your customer base, which is dogs. I assume, yes. So that would be my advice. Okay, next one we have is from Madeleine Leanne. Hi Adam. Okay, so I've been asking people close to me about their opinions on a breast reduction. I have severe body dysmorphia and I always have. I feel as if my breasts are the main contributing factor to that. But my family, mostly my mother, is so against me getting one. It's not her body. clear as that. I don't know if you're gonna say, like, can I get one? But it's not your mother's body. And it's not your family's body. It's your body. This is not even about if you had body dysmorphia. This is not even about if you really wanted to, change it or whatever. Do you feel comfortable in your own body? Is it something you can do? Have you done the research? This is your body. This is not nobody else's body. So it doesn't matter what they say. She says I should embrace what I have and will literally get mad at me whenever I bring it up. It's not her body. And the other part of me is saying fuck it and go for it because I want to be happy in my body and not fake confidence. My friends are so supportive of it. Should I go for it? I'm 21 years old. Why does my mom's opinion make me so mad? Because I do care about her opinion. You think she would want me to be happy with myself. I don't know what to do. I'm not going to tell you to get surgery. I'm not going to tell you not to get surgery. The same way your mother shouldn't. I think the older generation have such an idea about plastic surgery that is, if you do this, next is a tummy tuck, liposuction, all these different things. But I feel the reason you're saying your friends are, supportive of it is because we come from a generation that is like, we want to be happy. There is so much science, so much, all this stuff. Listen, if this is something that you have struggled with and you can make the change, alter things, go for it. It is your body. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. If you are going to be happier after this, there's your answer. I don't give a fuck what your mother says. Sorry, mother. I don't give a fuck what your family says. It's not their body. It's not their body. And if they were living in your emotions for this entire duration of your life feeling this way, they would have a different opinion. So that's my take on that. Okay, the next one we have is from Nigan. I have discomfort in being happy and seem to self-sabotage when I'm getting in a good place. I'm very happy with my current relationship, so how do I not F this up? Now, this is one of the main reasons that I'll never get past the dating stage, is because I always find myself in a great place mentally, and I always fuck it up. I always sabotage in some way, so I'm there with you. So I can't tell you what I would do because it would it would end it off. But what my friends always tell me is you have to realize that you deserve good things. You deserve to be happy as well. You deserve to be in a loving relationship. You deserve to, and also we bring so much of our luggage from past relationships, past friendships, family, friends, and we almost force that onto people when we're dating them, and that kind of so much bubbles up. And I think as well there's a big conversation of you start to get in your own head. What if this person thinks this? Or what if this last person I dated think this? So do they think that? This is a new slate. Every new relationship, you can take lessons you've learned from previous ones and analyze them with what you're going to do. But do not ever doubt that you deserve happiness. And if you feel that in this moment, you deserve it. So, be what I say. But I really struggle with that one too. So one hits home, to be honest. Okay, we have two more. So, It's Just Michelle said, Hi Mucker. So around 2 years ago, my friends all ditched me around the same time I got a boyfriend. Still with him, but now I'm starting to get lonely not having any close girlfriends. I feel like I'm missing out on girl talk and shopping days. Those girls, they probably were in love with your boyfriend, by the way. I just finished college, and although I'm close with my coworkers, it's just not the same. So my question is, how does one make friends in their mid-20s? Here's what you do. Your boyfriend has friends, I assume. I assume a couple of them are dating, and possibly some of them are girls. Double dates are fabulous. You befriend the girlfriends of your friends, or family members who are girls of your boyfriend, and then you'll find that you'll slowly be involved in a lot of things to do with girls. I also think social media, I really hate to be the young person about it, but I think social media is great. And I also think as hard as it is to go past doing stuff on your own in very social situations, especially whether it's a cocktail bar or a wine bar. I would say more so a wine bar than a cocktail bar. If you went by yourself, you let your friends know and your boyfriend know where you're going in that moment. you know, you can find out the safest ones. You can find out the ones that are very dominated with women, because they also exist. Go there, let your boyfriend know where you are. He can pick you up and, you know, make sure you're all safe. And, you know, after a glass of wine, you might want to compliment that woman over there. And then you're sitting on the table. And also, if your boyfriend comes with you as well, then great. There will be other couples there, and your boyfriend can talk to the guy and you talk to the girl. Listen, fuck those friends. You don't need them. You didn't want them anyway. And they were probably in love with your boyfriend. Okay, last one that we have. This is fun. I like this. So, from Kaylee Bell, hello Adam, my husband isn't helping me around the house or with the kids as much as I need him to. Can you please tell me how you would want someone to bring this up to you? You have such a warm, kind character. It would mean the world if you could offer some advice on this issue. I love you, bestie. I love you too. Okay. Here's what I would advise. We need you to be petty. So, you're the one having to clean up the entire house, clean up after the kids, your husband isn't doing anything. Don't clean up your husband's spaces. If your husband has like an office space, or he has, you know, his computer desk, or, you know, around that area, don't clean it. Let it build up. And then at a certain stage, you have something in front of you where you can be like, this is like not a good way to live. Also, I've never been living with someone in that respect, with like a relationship, and I think it completely changes it. And I think him then being able to see your space versus his space being different, you can say that it, you know, he needs to start pulling his ass around the house, and I think it changes the dynamics as well. But also, I think it's very important to have a sit down conversation, especially if you have kids, and just say how you're feeling to me, being like, I am tired. Like, I'm looking after all these kids. I'm tired. If your husband works and if he comes back and he's tired, like, I am exhausted. Working as a mom is a full-time fucking job, and a lot of people don't think that, and I don't know if you have another job as well, but like, even just that is such a draining job. Sit down and be like, I'm cooking dinner, I'm cleaning, I'm looking after the kids. And I was like, and I appreciate that if he's going to his job and you're doing all this, I really appreciate that, but I really need a helping hand. And it doesn't need to be a nasty conversation. It doesn't need to be a snarky, you're lazy conversation. There's two ways of going about this. The first method I said, or this one. Realistically, the second one is the best. I just kind of like a petty side of me, you know what I mean? Sitting down and being like, I appreciate everything you do. I know that you're tired. I'm also really tired. I was just wondering if, like, even a couple days of the week, like, we could, like, work together to, like, get through all of this. Or even just throughout the week, if you could do this with the kids, and then I'll do that. Or it's just sitting down and having a conversation that, you know, doesn't feel, and I mean, rub his hand, you know, be very, like, intimate in the, not sex, but, like, intimate in the conversation, so that it's not, like, a passive-aggressive, like, sit-down, angry conversation. Just, like, a chill, and even if you're, like, watching a movie or something like that, you know, talking during that, where you're already in a very, like, chill environment, it's not confrontational. That would be my advice. Okay, muckers, well, this was the first Ask Adams. This is Ask Adam number 1. I really enjoyed this. So if you have any, please send them on an email to askadammcintyre@gmail.com, which is askadammcintyre@gmail.com. And make sure to include, like, your name and stuff in it. And yeah, I can't wait to do more of these. I really, this was like one of my favorite videos to film ever. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much to everyone who sent it in. You didn't know what this was, you know, gonna be. This was the first one, so I appreciate you opening up to me with this first one. And yeah, muckers, I love you. I will see you in my next one. And bye. Mwah.